lead us to that blessed promised land. But he guides us with his eye, and we'll follow till we die. We will understand it better by and by.
Well, by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by.
Now we are often destitute of the things that life demands, want of food and want of shelter, thirsty hills and barren lands. But we're trusting in the Lord, and according to his word, we will understand it better by and by.
Well, by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we've overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. Well, 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 by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we've overcome,
trinket box that I hold so dear. It's a keepsake of my mother. It holds memories of her years. Tucked inside is her silver hair that she has left behind, along with lots of love and prayers that keep ringing in my mind. I gazed inside the trinket box, my heart began to swell. I reached to touch her silver hair, and I felt her spirit near. I knew I had to close the box and treasure what's inside. I thank my God for again someday we will never say goodbye. There's a little glass trinket box that I hold so dear. It's a keepsake of my mother. It holds memories of her years. Tucked inside is her silver hair that she has left behind, along with lots of love and prayers that keep ringing in my mind. If I could hear my mother pray again, if I could hear her tender voices then, so happy I would be, would mean so much to me. If I could hear my mother pray again, if I could hear my mother pray
Since I've heard about a better home, I would leave this whole world with all it holds. Just slip away my sunny day to heaven's shore. I'll find sweet rest beyond the gates forevermore. Yes, I'll reach home, oh praise the Lord, for some sweet day when I walk up that great Milky Way. Goodbye, oh world, good morning there before the throne. Oh, what a singing there will be when I get home. And oh Lord, hear my prayer before I leave. And may I live so my friends will follow me. The little home you gave to me while here below, I want to see each one of them on heaven's shore. Yes, I'll reach home, oh praise the Lord, for some sweet day when I walk up that great Milky Way. Goodbye, oh world, good morning there before the throne. Oh, what a singing there will be when I get home. Yes, I'll reach home, oh praise the Lord,
crossing the border into the unknown, leaving behind familiar comforts of home. Almost in tears as I say my goodbyes, scared of what's waiting on the other side. Ashamed to admit, but what a pleasant surprise to find you're already there. You've gone before me. You're already there. To you the future is now. You're already there, waiting to show me around, waiting to show me around. No one is sure just what the future will bring, but sometimes I wish I had my own time machine. Then I could peek at what's forbidden to know, glimpses of what will come or will go. It all sounds so nice, but all that I need to know is that you're already there. You've gone before me. You're already there. To you the future is now. You're already there, waiting to show me around, waiting to show me that there's nothing in my life that can catch you off guard. Facing tomorrow's not nearly as hard. You're already there. You've gone before me. You're already there. To you the future is now. You're already there, waiting to show me around, waiting to show me around.
And I think if they could just talk to you one more time, maybe they might say something a little bit like this. Well, we didn't understand why we went through such pain. We were stuck in that valley for a many long days. We held true to God's word when it seemed our prayers were not heard. When we called His name, oh, today I realize the teardrops we cried were never in vain. Listen, I got my healing today. I've been touched by the Master's hand, and I won't ever feel that pain again. No more tears will I ever shed, and now I'm walking on streets of gold. I'll live forever in my brand new home. Oh, don't wait for me, for soon you will see I got my healing today. Well, I know it can be easy when it seems your whole life is gone and left you alone. Just stay true to God's word. Soon you will see that His promise is true, and you will sing this song with me. I got my healing today. I've been touched by the Master's hand, and I will never feel that pain again. No more tears will I ever shed, and now I'm walking on streets of gold, and I'll live forever in my brand new home. Oh, don't wait for me, for soon you will see I got my healing today. I've been touched by the Master's hand, and I won't ever feel that pain again. No more tears will I ever shed. Now I'm walking on streets of gold, and I'll live forever in my brand new home. Oh, don't wait for me, for soon you will see I got my healing today. And now I'm walking on streets of gold, and I'll live forever in my brand new home. Oh, don't wait for me, for soon you'll see I got my healing today.
Oh my goodness, it's good to feel the Lord, isn't it? My little boy is 8 years old, and we were having dinner that night at home, and we're old-fashioned. We like to still sit around the table and eat and talk about our day. That's old-fashioned nowadays. And but my kids love it. They love it because they usually get to talk about their day, and we get to talk about ours. And my little boy came to me and he said, "Daddy, I can't wait to tell you what happened at school today." And usually when he says that, it's usually something that is off the wall. I mean, but last year we were singing in North Carolina, and I got a phone call about 2 o'clock. And it was my little boy on the other end, and he said, "Daddy, I got to tell you something." He said, "The Lord saved me today." And I was so excited about that, and I knew it was coming. The Lord had showed me that it was coming. It's amazing how the Lord will show you those things, but I knew that it was coming. I knew it was getting time. And so 3 weeks ago, we were sitting at our table, and my little boy has a love for the Lord like I have never seen. At 8 years old, I mean, I've never in my life. And he said, "Daddy, I'll tell you," he said, my heart has been really heavy for two of my friends at school. Now, he's a third grader at school, and I had no idea, his mother or I, either one, had no idea that he was worried about these two friends of his at school. But he worries and he prays. We'll find him in his room lots of times, calling out to the name of the Lord. Just on his own. I mean, we don't have to tell him. But he'll just go into his room and he'll begin to pray. That does something to your heart. To hear your 8-year-old child lifting your name out to the Lord in prayer. But we were sitting around the table, and he said, "Daddy," he said, "my heart was so heavy." He said, "I didn't know what to do." He said, "So when it came time for us to go out to the playground," he said, "I just took them both over beside the monkey bars." He said, "And I just looked at both of them right dead in the eye." He said, "And I said, I got to know something. Do you know who Jesus is?" And I said, "Really?" He was worried about their soul. He's only 8. I said, "Well, what did they say to you?" He said, "Well, both of them just kind of looked at me and said, 'No, I don't have a clue who you're talking about.'" And he said, "Daddy, I felt so bad. I felt so bad." He said, "I thought everybody went to church." I said, "No, son, everybody don't go to church." I said, "But we need to pray for them." He said, "Well, here's what I done, Daddy." He said, "I didn't just let it go at that." He said, "Here's what I done." He said, "I took one of them by this hand, and I took one of them by this hand, and I made them hold hands." He said, "And I said, we're going to pray right now." He said, "Because you can be saved anywhere you're at." And they had prayer on the playground at school. And I said, "Well, when the prayer was over, did they say anything? Did they?" He said, "Well, I asked them and told them if they wanted to go to church, that there was all kind of churches that have vans and buses that'll come by and pick them up, that all they have to do is call And they'll come by and get them. If their mom and daddy won't take them to church, they'll come by and get them and take them back home. And I said, boy, that's amazing. He said, did I do good, Daddy? I said, you sure did. He's not ashamed, and I hope he never is. Now, those two little boys, I don't believe, received salvation that day. They might have, I don't know. He didn't know. But I believe that one day, as they're walking through their life, that they'll look back on the 3rd grade and they'll remember having prayer on the playground with that little boy who just loved the Lord. I looked over at my wife that evening and I said, honey, we might get a phone call. I said, and if we do, it'll be okay. I serve on the Board of Education where I live. I was elected 4 years ago, and I said, I can see the headlines next week. Board member's son has prayer meeting on the playground. But would it not be wonderful that turned into a revival? I know I'm taking up a lot of time this morning, but the Spirit is so good in here, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Don't worry about the food. There's people over there stirring the pots. It ain't going to burn. It won't burn. But I believe there's still people in here today that are needing a touch from the Lord. And I believe today that those little boys might have felt something they'd never felt that day on the playground. And you know, I look at my life and I don't know if I was in that same environment that I would do the same thing that he did. I have no idea. I can do it now. School is so hard for kids these days. It is so hard. I would do it now. I would share the love of the Lord with anybody now. But at that age, I don't know that I would have. I said, honey, I don't want him to be made fun of at school. She said, Robbie, my wife said, Robbie. She said, how great is it that we suffer for the cause of Christ? We're going to be made fun of and talked about along the way, especially if you're as charismatic as I am. But I don't care anymore. For a long time, I would come in and sit on the pew, and I would sit on my hands to keep from lifting them up because I was afraid of what people would say about me. I didn't want anybody to laugh at me. I didn't want anybody to think that I was an old holy roller. Can you imagine what Moses would have done if the Lord would have said, take off your shoes, you're standing on holy ground? If he had looked around and said, Lord, I can't do that, somebody might see my toes. What did Moses do? I believe he kicked his feet so hard he didn't have to bend over and loosen them. I believe they just come off. I don't care anymore. I'm not on this journey for anybody in this room but myself. And my relationship with Jesus Christ cannot suffer because of what you or you might think about me. And when you get in that mindset, some of you are in that mindset today, but some of you aren't. Some of you are looking at me like a mule looking at a new gate. But when you get in the mindset that you just don't care anymore about what people are going to think about you, you're going to serve the Lord anyway. My. We may need to have revival here this week. I don't know. That'd be awesome. I know that we're going long, and I just want to tell you today that God is here. And you know, I said a while ago that my mom and dad have already gone to the grave, and that was so hard on me, and I may have to go. I don't know. I don't know what this world holds for me. I have no idea. I'd like to see him coming in the clouds, though. I'd like to be standing somewhere and see the clouds roll back and him just come forth. And I believe that's going to happen. That's going to happen. I mean, that sky's going to split wide open and those clouds are going to form and he's going to be standing on them. That's going to happen. I don't know. I may have to go to the grave, though. May have to wait it out. But if I do, rest assured of one thing. That's not the end of this boy right here. That is not the end. The grave can't hold him.
Someone to help me. Jesus is there. I know something's changed, like the weather. Friends may come and go, but the love of God is forever. I'm glad, so glad. I know broken dreams can leave us shattered. Trouble and pain may bring us low. Through the conflict, Jesus will help.